This is the inaugural episode of Crypto Stories. Here, people tell us how crypto changed their lives. Our first protagonist is Topp Jirayut. He is the founder and CEO of Bitkub, Thailand's leading regulated cryptocurrency exchange, which accounts for 95% of all cryptocurrency transactions in the country. He is also the co-founder of Thailand's first and largest Bitcoin wallet company. A few years ago, Topp's parents asked him to shut down Bitkub because they were afraid that he would go to jail. And 6 years ago, he was nobody. So how did he become one of Thailand's crypto tycoons? Keep watching to find out. But before that, don't forget to like and subscribe.
When I was a student, I was a very bad one. I didn't like studying. Studying was the last thing. I wanted to be a footballer. Cristiano Ronaldo is my idol, childhood idol. I was not a good student. I always got into fights. At one time, I broke my friend's arm. I was almost getting expelled by the headmaster. Then that's when we realized that we could not get into any of the Thai universities because our grades were so bad. Luckily, I love football, so I decided to explore universities in the UK. Ended up putting in middle ranks once. Usually football teams, Manchester, Liverpool, Newcastle. Luckily, Manchester University accepted me as a student. And my favorite team was Manchester United. I was super glad that I have a second chance at life. When you have a second chance at life, that's when you are willing to sacrifice anything just to make sure that you fix your regrets. So, on the first day of the first year at university, that's when I went into the library. That's when I realized what the library looks like. I started to revise 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours per day. And as a normal teenager's year, you would love to party, you would love to have a relationship. I sacrificed all those opportunities and I was reading harder and harder in the second year, third year. And I ended up coming first out of all of the university at Manchester. And then I got into Oxford for my master's degree. I was the youngest in class to have gotten into Oxford, a class of 50 students. I had no life at university. It taught me that, if we really want something, we need to sacrifice other things. So after graduation at Oxford, I was lost, like other students. Did not know what to do with my life. I tried investment banking in Shanghai for a bit, 2.5 months. I tried working in a financial consulting firm in San Francisco for less than a month. I could not get a job at Facebook, at Google. The best job that I could get that is related to economics was consulting. So every weekend I would drive to, Silicon Valley campus. I would take photos with the like button in front of Facebook building. I would ride Google bikes. I would visit the Intel Museum. That's the best I could do. I decided to ask around. Does anyone know anyone working at Silicon Valley? Can you arrange a meeting? One of my colleagues said, I know a person called Dan Chat. He was an executive of PayPal. Would you like to meet him? I was like, yes, please. Can you arrange a meeting? So one Saturday, I was meeting with Dan in a pancake shop. I was treating him pancakes. And I asked him, Dan, what do you think about Bitcoin? And he was like, Topp, the original vision of PayPal was not a payment gateway. They wanted to create a digital dollar. The best thing that they could do was a payment gateway. You are the luckier generation, he said. You have 4G internet, you have cloud computing, you have blockchain, you have smartphones. Bitcoin is going to change the world. So that reinforced my belief about Bitcoin. And after a few weeks, I felt like I was wasting my time. So I decided to, book a ticket back home and start a Bitcoin company. But my parents already spent huge loads of money on my education. So I feel bad if I were to ask them for more money. And my parents run a small clothing shop in Thailand. So the only thing that I asked from my mom was, could I use a spare room to set up an office? And my aunt, her sister, donated a chair and a table for me. So that's all I had. That's how I started a very first Bitcoin company in Thailand. So I was camping out in this spare room in a clothing shop for almost a year, for 10 months. I could not socialize. I saved up every pennies. My parents were feeding me every meal. I felt like a loser for the first 10 months. My parents were disappointed at their son because they had a very high expectation of me. I had to do everything myself. Operations, customer support, designing of the websites, accounting, legal, companies incorporation, everything by myself. I learned so much, by the way, in that 1 year. It was the best education. One of the happiest days of my life was when we moved out of that clothing shop into a co-working space. We were a team of about 13 people. Then the anti-money laundering officers sent me the letter, the investigation letter, calling me in to their office. I tried to call my friend that graduated from the Oxford University. They were working at a very big law firm, right? No one wanted to help out. They were like, Topp, good luck. Yeah. Even though I had the money to pay. Because imagine Bitcoin like 7-8 years ago. It was really great. No right or wrong. No one wanted to risk their reputation to help. So from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. I was managing the team of like 13 people. And from 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. I was reading up on all the anti-money laundering rules and AML KYC regulations, things that were not taught in universities. One of the most stressful time of my life. Eventually, my dad drove me to the anti-money laundering officers to defend, to present to them that morning. After I got back to the office, half of my employees left the company after they realized that the company is being called by the anti-money laundering officers. We had to rebuild. We had to rehire. I was so stressed. But it's fine, we rebuilt, we gradually grow. We were able to solve that crisis. Then we moved to a bigger office. We got to a team of 30 people. We moved to a new office in Chitlong. That's when another crisis struck us. The Bank of Thailand sent me an investigation letter. I showed this letter to my dad and he was like, Topp, I thought you had enough with the anti-money laundering officers. Now you're in trouble with the Bank of Thailand. Are you really gonna go all into all the regulators in Thailand? Are you crazy? Like, shut the companies down now, please. That's what my dad said. The happiest day of my life was the 1st of April, 2017. That is when Japan announced Bitcoin is legal. Bitcoin is a legal tender. You can use Bitcoin to buy flight tickets, hotels, shopping. And that's when all my friends started to message me, Topp, I can't believe you were the minority that was right about this Bitcoin thing, whereas the majority was wrong about this thing. I exited the company. Then I thought I wanted to have a gap year. It was a really tough 4 or 5 years. In 2017, the Thai SEC created this first ever FinTech Challenge program. So I applied to participate. I named the team Private Chain. We created a stock exchange 2.0 where you can trade stocks, tokens in a T+0 settlement time. Then I came to the Thai SEC and said, I am the winner of your program. I want to turn this into a real business now. And they were a bit shy. And they said, Topp, you can't really turn this into a business because of the regulation. You cannot create a competing exchange with the Thai Stock Exchange. It's a legacy law. My own law. Right. So they started to create this sandbox, right? So that we can have a second exchange in Thailand. I was working with them, and until the end of 2017, that's when I realized that the first digital asset exchange license is about to come out. I was pitching to the board of the Thai SEC on the top floor. how to regulate this space. Then I realized that the license is coming out. So I decided to raise funding. Right? I go around to SBI. They gave me a very, very good offer, high valuation. I was, talking to other investors. So we ended up closing $1.2 million seed round at $60 million valuation. It was the highest seed round valuation in the Thai startup history back then. So I took over an IT company with a team of 20 people and turned that into Bitkub. And since then, it's been 3 years and 2 months. We grew 1,000% every year. We made 3 million baht in the first year. We made 33 million baht in the second year. We made 330 something million baht in the last year. And last month we made 400 million baht. So by the end of this year, we would probably make 3 billion baht or $100 million of income. So Bitkub is on its way to becoming Thailand's first unicorn. So that's our journey so far. This Steve Jobs statement made an impression on me. He said that we should not believe in the average life, right? Everything around us were created by people who were no smarter than us in the past. We can influence things around us. If we are passionate on something and we take action every day, even one person can change the world. And that statement was very powerful. And I've been fully passionate about cryptocurrency, and I took action every day in the last 8 years. And we have come so far. If you look back, if we were to look back, we have, come so far. I could not have imagined what we have achieved today by taking small steps every day, making impacts. To be honest, I really enjoy my life right now.
Want to tell us your story, or perhaps your friend's story? Email us at video@cointelegraph.com. Our next episode will feature tales from Nigeria and Singapore. If you enjoyed the video, smash that like button and share it with your friends.